It is a dark chapter of history in the U.S. 80 years ago, thousands of Japanese Americans were sent to internment camps during World War II. And for the last 25 years, a nonprofit here in Seattle called Densho has documented stories of those incarcerated. And today they shared some of those difficult stories with King 5's Chris Cashman.
We're here at the Lakeshore to talk about the Japanese American incarceration during World War II, and in particular about a display of objects from the incarceration that were loaned to us by Japanese American residents of the Lakeshore.
But these were painted and then they're carved out.
And about 1/3 of the residents here are of Japanese American heritage, and so every year we have a Day of Remembrance program near February 19th to commemorate the signing of Executive Order 9066, which led to the incarceration of Japanese Americans. And this year, instead of someone from the outside coming in,
and each of these artifacts tells its own unique story.
We thought, why not get the residents to share their lived experience? So we put out a call for donations, and they donated about 30 items.
And it wasn't until several years later, as an adult, when I started to ask questions about what my family's experience was during World War II, that I got to hear the story of this chest.
We're hoping that by sharing these stories that it will make it more real. Not only that they made these beautiful objects, but that this happened, and that despite all of the hardship and the struggle during that time, the unjustness of it, the incarcerated still found ways to find beauty and to make the best of a bad situation.
And on a related note, just last week we brought you the story of Lily Kitamoto Kodama, whose life was changed by Executive Order 9066. She was just a child when she and her family were forced out of their home on Bainbridge Island and imprisoned in a camp, and she still remembers what life was like behind barbed wire.
I happened to find a creek. It was inside the barbed wire, so I took off my shoes and I was going to wade in this creek, and then I heard something, and I looked up, and here it was a guard tower was right there, and there was a soldier, and he had a gun, and he was looking down and pointing it at me, and that scared me.
Lily and her family were among several hundred Bainbridge Island residents imprisoned during World War II. To learn more about her story, text the word SURVIVOR to 206-448-4545. And some other news.